Hello everyone and welcome. In this video I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on Fear the Walking Dead Season 7 Episode 15. As is the norm with all my videos, I won't be holding back on any spoilers, so please do keep that in mind. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin. If you've been following this channel for any decent length of time, then you've probably already guessed by now that I hate this episode, and well, yeah, absolutely right, I do hate this episode, because one thing that I often complain about when I'm talking about the Walking Dead universe is how much I hate their dream sequences, you know, their visions, their hallucinations, and I just think they're not very good at writing them. I just think more often than not, their hallucinations, they just come off as feeling silly, and at times they're often unintentionally funny, and this entire episode is just Alicia talking to a younger version of herself. That's who she's been dreaming of all season. That's what she's been seeing all season. A younger version of herself. And this entire episode is just these two talking back and forth. And I hated every minute of it. Also, if you've been following my channel for a while, then you'll also know that I hate the episode in which Tyrese dies in The Walking Dead. In which he just kind of has visions for like 30 minutes of the episode. And he's just sat there in a room hallucinating the other dead characters. And then he dies. And this is what this kind of episode feels like. This is what this episode feels like because it's Alicia just hallucinating and then she dies. And I just hate that. Like, I just hate drawn out deaths. I've just kind of decided now that I just kind of hate drawn out deaths in the Walking Dead universe. Just give me a death that's quick. I don't need to see 40 minutes about a character dying. I don't need to see it. Because by the time the character does die, I'm already sick of them. I already hate them. That's what happened in the Tyrese episode. I was so bored with what was happening. By the time he died, I was just like, thank God he's dead. And that's exactly what happened in this episode. By the time Alicia died, I was just thought to myself, thank God she's dead, because I don't have to see any more cringy scenes of her talking to her younger self. Thank God she's dead. I didn't feel sad. I was just glad it was over. To be honest, if Alicia had died in a different manner, I don't think I would have particularly cared for it either, because I'm just kind of over her character. She's just been irritating all season, to be honest. I mean, you know, she got pissed at Strand for killing Will. You've taken everything from me. Really, like, you knew the dude for like a week, and then, you know, she's pissed at Strand for saving her life, killing Wes, and she spent much of the season, you know, besides that, trying to help people, you know, being a mini Morgan. I recently started watching Fear the Walking Dead again from season 4 because I just like torturing myself. No, okay, I'm going to make a video about it in the future. So I've started watching it again, and I've kind of noticed that Alicia is just a kind of a shit character since the soft reboot. She really is a bad character. Like, she's okay in 4A and in parts of season 6, but for much of the time since season 4, she's just a female Morgan. Oh, I gotta help people. You know, she spends much of season 4 and 5 just going, I need to help people to make up for what I've done, whatever the fuck that is. I don't know what she's talking about. And she's just annoying. She's a female Morgan. You know, I think a lot of people like Alicia because they remember the character she used to be. She used to be a great character in season 1 to 3, but since then, she's been kind of rubbish, and I don't really care that she's dead, because I think her character is just kind of shit now, to be honest. So I don't really care. I'm sorry. I know I'm going to get hate now from Alicia Denham Carey fans. I don't hate her. I think, you know, she's a good actress, but I just think her character is just a shadow of her former self. So she died, and I didn't really feel anything. I just didn't care, you know. Contrast Alicia's death to when Nick died, because I watched this episode again the other day. And although when I first watched it, I was angry, I was really pissed because they killed Nick, my favourite character. When I watched it again a couple of days ago, I actually thought it was alright. Now, maybe I'm just going insane, but I actually thought, you know what, this is actually kind of well done. Because it was a quick death. It was a quick and horrific death. You know, I forgot how horrific it was. He's there coughing up blood. You know, he can't do anything about it. He's aware he's going to die. It's a horrible death. He's in a lot of pain. You know, I like that. I don't want to see 40-minute episodes dedicated to characters dying. I don't need to see this dragged out nonsense until they eventually drop dead. Just give me a horrible death, you know? I felt something watching that scene. I watched that scene of Nick again the other day, and I felt sad. I felt something. That's the first time in years I felt something besides pure anger when watching Fear the Walking Dead. It made me feel sad. But when Alicia died, I didn't feel anything. I was just like, oh well, she's dead. You know, I get that Alicia's been on the show since the start, and you know, they want to give her a send-off, give her a final episode. I understand that, but I'm just over dragged out deaths in the Walking Dead universe. I'm just over it. I just hate having entire episodes dedicated to one character dying. I just can't deal with it anymore. But, Josh, does Alicia actually die? Because they kind of leave things on an open-ended, you know, ambiguous note. So I'll talk about it now. So at the end of the episode, Alicia passes out on the beach, and this is the 7th time. The 7th time in the episode she passes out, and I'll talk about, you know, that in a bit more detail later, why that's just so fucking stupid. She passes out on the beach, And then she wakes up and she looks good. She wakes up and she's no longer pale or sweaty. That's basically me, isn't it? Pale and sweaty. She's no longer pale and sweaty. She looks great. She wakes up, but she's still seeing visions of her younger self and still seeing this CGI bird, which she follows the entire episode. Again, I'll talk about that a bit later on. And then she says to her younger self, I have to go now to help people. And then just walks off in the distance. And that's the end of the episode, right? And it's not really clear whether this scene is real or not. I mean, the writers have come out and said, that's it. She's done. I mean, Chambers and Goldberg has said, that's it. You know, Alicia isn't going to be on the show anymore, but they did say the same for Madison, and she's coming back, so who knows. But basically, it kind of feels like this is AMC hedging their bets. They don't want to truly commit to Alicia being 100% dead in case they can convince Alicia Debnam Carey to come back in the future. Because, you know, this is either going to go one or two ways. Number one is that this scene is just like a dream sequence. This is Alicia, she is dreaming of this as she's dying. Or this is like, I don't know, a passageway to the other world, you know, to heaven or whatever. Her soul moving to somewhere else. You know, something like that. Something spiritual, right? Or option number two is that this scene is real and that Alicia does somehow survive and just goes off on her own, and which, you know, paves way for a potential return. I don't know how she would have survived, you know, after being infected for 2 months with this Walker virus, how now she's magically recovered. I don't know. But I don't think the writers would know either. I don't think they would even explain it if she come back, because they don't explain anything on this show. But yes, so there's either two options, because it looks like they can't quite commit at the moment. So yeah, they basically confirm she's dead, but they're kind of leaving a passageway for her to return, because I guess they realised in the past they fucked up by killing off characters when they could bring them back. So yeah, I don't really care about this either way. I don't really have any strong opinions on it either way. I think she's dead. If she does come back, she does come back. I'll deal with it then. But I have seen some fans raging that it's ambiguous. I don't really give a shit, because I think the whole episode's bad. So I'm not really going to get upset about this 10-second ending, you know, 10-second clip at the end of the episode. I don't really care. We don't get any explanation as to how Alicia has survived for so long after getting bitten by a walker in this episode. Remember back at the end of 7A when we thought that was going to be important, when we thought that maybe Alicia was immune, maybe she'd been bit by, you know, a different variant walker? Because I'm sure there were some reports that said the end of 7A tied into the end of the World Beyond. And, you know, there were rumours that, oh, maybe she was bitten by a different walker, a World Beyond walker, that, you know, maybe the infection transmits differently, or you live longer, or something like that. But no, it's not explained. Apparently, Alicia just somehow lived for months, because she says in this episode, oh, I've had this fever for months, right? She lived that long after being bitten by a walker. No explanation as to how she lived that long, how she lived with the infection. She's lived longer than anyone else in the franchise, and we don't know why. We don't know why. We don't get it explained. She just dies. What did you expect? An explanation? You're watching the wrong show. They don't explain fucking anything on here. When I started watching this episode, I predicted on Reddit, I wrote on Reddit that I think Alicia is going to pass out 5 times. And I was close. She actually passes out 7 times. Well, I counted 7. There may be more. And I just hate this. It's so fucking lazy. It's basically the writers. They want to transport Alicia around the map, I was going to say. It's not a video game. But they want to transport her around Fear the Walking Dead's world, right? But they can't figure out how to do it. So they just go, right, let her pass out. She faints, and then someone else finds her, and then they moves her to somewhere else. Just such a fucking garbage way of writing. It really is. At the start of this episode, Alicia is being carried on a stretcher by June and Dwight, I believe. And they carry her to the beach where Morgan left at the episode previous, or the one before that. And then they don't explain how she got there. We don't know how she got off the roof, who rescued her. Or at least if they did say it, I didn't pick up on it. She's just there, and how she got there, I don't know. And then later on in the episode, she tries to get to the tower, passes out outside the tower, and then again she wakes up on a stretcher being carried by, I think it's June and Sarah this time. And then she's like, oh, how did you get me? What happened? How did I get here? And then enter Josiah. Josiah, remember him? He appears and he's like, oh, I was in the area and I found you. What the fuck? What? Was that the only reason that Chambers and Goldberg created this character? Just so he can appear out of nowhere to save Alicia, because they couldn't figure out a way for Alicia to move to a different area. Yeah, have Josiah do it. Josiah was just there. He was wandering around the tower. Yeah, makes perfect sense. Fuck's sake. Honestly, at least half this episode is just Alicia trying to get to the tower before being pushed back. And then she has to go back to the tower. And oh, it's just so tedious, man. And then after she's rescued by Josiah, she tells the characters who are with her, right, I'm going back in the tower. I need to go in the tower because there's a girl there who's going to help me find Padre, which of course is, you know, her hallucinating, right? I need to go back there. And then the characters go, okay, we'll use the tunnel. And then they end up with this door that says, like, I don't know, something like authorized personnel only. They appear at this door, and they walk through. She walks through the door, and it takes her straight into the tower. I've just got so many questions. Where the fuck is this door? Where are we now? How did they find this door? If they knew about this door the whole time, why have they not used it before? Why did they not use it? I can't even talk, I'm so angry. Why did they not use it to sneak into the tower previously? Where is this fucking door? What the hell is going on? Why is there a magic door that takes you to the tower? Why have we only learnt about this now? My brain is like fucking melting. What is this? So Alicia enters the tower and she walks up the stairs to Strand's room, the room that Strand is in, and she's guided there by this CGI bird. And I understand that this episode is called Amina, and that was the name of the bird that Alicia and Nick looked after when they were younger, right? And this scene is fresh in my mind because I recently watched season 4, and the scene in which Madison says to Al, she tells Al this story about, oh, they looked after this bird because they wouldn't give up on anyone, so you can't give up. Like, that's fresh in my mind. So I understand what they're referencing here, right? I understand what the point of this is. Oh, Alicia's near death, and then, you know, this bird that she saved is now here to save her and to guide her to peace. Like, I get what they were trying to do, but I just still think it's fucking stupid. I can't stand it. I just can't stand it. Because I thought this story was fucking dumb the first time I heard it. I thought it was awful. I winced. I thought it was painful. I thought the dialogue from Madison was absolutely atrocious. I just hated, you know, the whole thing around Althea interviewing people and them telling them her stories. What's your story? And here we are again, referencing the stupid fucking story about the bird. And I'm supposed to feel something. I'm supposed to go, oh, it's the bird. It's the bird they saved. When she was a kid, it's the bird, it's gonna guide her, it's gonna guide her, it's the bird. No! Fucking shoot the bird! Kill the stupid bird! I don't like this. I just hate this. I hated the story in the first place, and I hate that it's back now. I get what they're trying to do, but I hate it. Anyway, Alicia makes it to the room where Strand is, and Strand is just drunk, and he's drinking away his sorrows, and, you know, rumour has it that this wasn't actually even a scene that was planned in the show. This was just improvised by Coleman Domingo. I mean, this is his genuine reaction when he finds out that he has to come back for another season of this show. Alicia then passes out for a 6th time while she's with Strand. And then again, she's teleported back to the beach because somehow someone else takes her back there. Strand takes her there. Someone else takes her there. Josiah takes her there. Or Josiah's and Emil's third triplet, Joe Mill, arrives and saves Alicia. I don't know. But anyway, she's back at the beach. Somehow, and then everyone's leaving the beach on their rafts. They're all going away on their rafts, and then Alicia says, no, I can't go because I don't know how long it will take me to turn. I might die. I can't go, right? So she decides to stay behind, but then you see fucking Charlie on a raft, on her own raft. This kid who's terminally ill. Oh, I'm too ill to go. I can't go. Oh, see you, Charlie. Bye, yeah, take Charlie. Take the girl dying from radiation poisoning. Oh my god. What doesn't make any sense? I'm too ill to go with you, but we'll take Charlie. I don't even know what to say about that, but okay, whatever. And then, well, yeah, they all leave. And there's some corny dialogue between Coleman Domingo and Alicia Devon Carey. You know, where Alicia's like, I do love you, Strand. And he's like, oh, you have saved them, oh, Alicia, you've saved them. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm living in a different world, but I've seen people on Reddit praise the performances of Alicia Devon Carey and Coleman Domingo. I just don't see it. I mean, I think they do what they can with the dialogue they're given, but I just found a lot of their stuff really cringy. I found Strand to be really just strange and just cringy when he was drunk. Really bizarre performance. I found him at the end when he's trying to cry, going, no, Alicia, you have saved them. I was just thinking, this is just really bad. Maybe it's not his fault. Maybe it's just the dialogue he's been given. But yeah, I kind of found it strange that these two have really been praised for their performances this episode, because I just thought it was very over the top. But anyway, maybe that's just me. But yeah, so all the characters leave. Then Alicia collapses on the beach, and then you know we get the scene which I told you earlier, where she wakes up and you get this ambiguous ending. And so yeah, and that's about all I have to say about this episode. I hated it. It's going to be interesting to see how this video goes down, because I've seen a lot of people on Reddit really like it. So I don't know. I just didn't like it. I mean, this has got everything in an episode. Like, so much that I just hate is in this episode. You know I hate just dumb hallucinations and, you know, visions, that kind of stuff. I hate that. I hate the awful dialogue. I just hate having entire episodes dedicated to one character dying, which is what we get in this episode. And also, I'm just not, like, I'm not a spiritual person at all. I'm not that way inclined. So, you know, while some people might watch this episode and go, oh, it's so sweet seeing this bird guide her to paradise, this bird guide her to peace, I just kind of watch it and think, this is fucking dumb. Like, what am I watching? I thought I was watching a show about zombies, and now I'm watching someone being guided by a bird going to the afterlife because a bird directed them there whilst talking to a younger version of their self. I thought this was just a show about the post-apocalypse. What am I watching? Like, this isn't for me. This isn't for me. But if you're that way inclined, you might think, oh, this is really sweet. This is really beautiful. You know, I love what this is symbolizing. And if that's how you feel, good for you. Good for you. I am happy that people like this episode. If people get something out of this, and, you know, if they enjoy it as a send-off for Alicia, if they like it, they're good for them. But for me, like I said, this is just everything that I hate. You know, this is the kind of stuff I complained about before. You all know that I hate this kind of stuff. You all know that I hate, you know, hallucinations, visions, that kind of stuff. And this episode is just riddled with stuff that I don't like. Just riddled with stuff that personally is not for me. So I was never going to like it. It's just not my kind of episode. I don't like it at all. But I understand that some people may like it. It does seem like there are some people out there who do like it. Actually, one last other thing before I go. Kind of annoying, isn't it? Alicia's left and Madison's returning. Bring Madison back. And I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be great to see Madison interact with Alicia, you know? To see mother and daughter back again. And nope. Now Alicia's gone and now Madison's back. And that's probably the only reason why they brought Madison back. They're probably panicking. You know, the writers and AMC are panicking. Shit, Alicia wants to leave. She wants to leave at the end of the season. Let's bring Madison back. Let's bring them back so people keep watching. People keep watching all our filler episodes just to see Madison appear at the last episode. That's probably why they did it. That's really annoying, actually. Why can't they just have these two appear at the same time? We're probably going to end up in a situation where, in like 2 years, if Fear's still going, Madison Clark, you know, the lady who plays her, I can't remember her name, sorry. She wants to leave. She's like, yep, I'm gone. And Alicia Dedman Carey's like, I'm coming back, and characters just keep crossing over. I can totally see that happening. But yeah, I thought Kim Dickens, that's her name. Yeah, that's her name. But anyway, that's that. I didn't like this episode. It's not my type of thing at all. It isn't my cup of tea. I didn't like it. But let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts below. And I'll see you next week. Final episode next week. Final one. Wow, we've got through another season already. We've got through another season, and I only kind of made me go a bit insane, but we've done it. We've nearly done it. Thank you for watching me, and especially thank you for watching, you know, for those of you who actually do like Fear the Walking Dead, and you tune in to me every week for some reason to see me just hate on the show. Thank you. You know, I like it when people have a different opinion to me, and they respect that, and, you know, and they don't just go, oh, you're a dickhead. Why do you watch this show if you hate it? Some people do, but not most of you don't. Most of you on YouTube, you know, you're all lovely, my subscribers, people leave comments. So yes, thank you, and thank you, you know, to those who do hate Fear the Walking Dead as well. Just thank you to everyone. Let's just say thank you to everyone. Let's not leave anyone out. All right, this is a very long-winded ending. I kind of could have made this point a bit better, couldn't I? But anyway, yeah, let's finish the episode. I'm getting hungry now. Finish this review. So I'll see you soon. Gonna go have something to eat. Bye.